Album artwork has been part of this resurgence of vinyl. It's been running for 10 years now, with some big names winning over the years, including Hardfire, the very first winners in 2005, and, as well as that, Tom York. But I'm now joined by one of tonight's nominees who may have had a canape, but maybe chewing on it a little bit nervously. I'm joined by Rob O'Connor, one of the nominees who designed Squeeze's nominated album cover. Rob, thanks for joining us this evening. Is this the first time you've ever been nominated for anything?
Oh, no, but this is the first time we've been nominated in this competition. So, yeah, no, I'm not a big fan of awards at all, but this is one that we didn't enter, so I'm very delighted someone did for us, so it's great.
And you have worked with Squeeze for a couple of years, it might be said.
Yeah, we started back in 30 years ago, amazingly enough, and on and off we worked for them over the years, both individually as solo artists and as the band Squeeze, yeah.
And so the title's called Cradle to the Grave. Did they give you the music first? Did they give you the title first? How did you start your creative process?
Yeah, we always like to hear the music, so we had a couple of tracks to work with, and we also had the brief from them, which on this occasion was they were writing some music for Danny Baker's comedy show for TV. And so the songs were actually related to that, and it gave us, that was one angle that we presented. So I think we presented about 6 concepts. This wasn't the originally favoured one. There was another one which was approved and done and dusted, but this one came back from the grave, as it were.
Well, that is very apt.
Well, exactly. The other one was very sombre. It was an idea that we had it was actually a ticket. They used it for their tour in the end. The tour was called Cradle to Grave Tour, and we had the idea of a very simple 1970s style train ticket. Instead of saying from Paddington to Weymouth or something, it just said from the cradle to the grave. So it was like it was a one-way ticket, basically.
And you've been designing record sleeves for over 30 years now. So when you get given when you're asked to do that, how tough is it really to try and sum up an album in one image or one idea? I mean, how difficult was it when you started out to now, when you're sort of screaming to grab people's attention when there's so much around?
There are so many other ways now to grab people's attention. That's the thing. You don't really. It doesn't have that same. The pressure isn't there quite so much because you've got all kinds of online presence and on TV and various other media. The difference is mainly down to size. With the miniaturization of the whole thing, we now think of a record cover as being a little tile-sized JPEG on iTunes or something. That almost first and foremost. And then we think of it as a campaign. So if it's an online campaign, we think of it as a whole media thing, not just the cover anymore. What's nice about this is it brings it back to its simple mini poster kind of stature. So every record cover still becomes now a 12-inch poster, basically, and that was the great thing about when I was growing up, and I still love it. I'm not totally nostalgic. I'm no Luddite. I just love the fact that there are people here today because they celebrate that,
Well, I have to say, Rob, it is a very busy cover, and I have to say you've squeezed a lot into the cover. If there was one album you could have designed here yourself, apart from Squeezes, which one would it have been?
Oh gosh, there's several. I mean, there's about a dozen I really like. I like Linden. What else am I looking at? I like the Tame Impala. Yeah, there's loads. What's nice about them is that they're not all relying on an image of the artist, and for a designer, that's a very liberating thing. Just to be very expressive for a change. And
who is your money on apart from you?
I'll stick with Linden.
And which album is that for those who are not in the know?
It's the one with the landscape shot with rolling paper, coloured paper around the corners. I don't know what it's about. I'll have to try and find the designer and ask him, but no, it's a nice one. I mean, they're all winners as far as I'm concerned.
I have the winner of the Best Art Vinyl Award 2015. I am joined by Dave Stainsby. Congratulations on your victory for David Gilmour's Rattle That Lock. Can we have a little bit higher just so that is the winning artwork? Congratulations. When you looked at the 50-strong list of nominees, did you think you had it in the bag?
No, not at all, to be honest, because I really, really love so many of the covers. I really do. I love the Tame Impala sleeve. Absolutely amazing. So, yeah, I'm blown away.
So could you talk us a little bit about this winning sleeve, how it came to be, the idea behind it, and how much collaboration there was in bringing it all together?
Well, the actual idea, because I heard a little bit of the album, this is about January last year, and I could hear that David Gilmour was kind of having fun with his record. So the whole idea is him breaking free of Pink Floyd. So there's the cage and him breaking free, and he enjoyed his music.
And how long does it take to come up with a composition like that? I mean, because it's clearly a lot of elements going on there.
It took 3 months in total. Yeah, so it was a big collaboration between me and quite a few design legends.
And one of the design legends is someone who's worked a lot on Pink Floyd's work in the past as well.
Yeah, the legendary Poe from Hypnosis. So it's just amazing for me to work with one of my heroes, to be honest.
And what is it like to work with someone like that who worked on big albums back in the day when they become these iconic pieces of language that you kind of still refer to?
Amazing. He kept telling me what we were doing in the process. He was telling me stories about back in the day with Jimi Hendrix and John Lennon and going to parties with Janis Joplin. And so yeah, it was amazing.
It sounds like there was some inspiration going on in those conversations.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what does the sort of resurgence of album artwork mean to you personally? Because vinyl has made such a comeback. Last year, the biggest amount of vinyl sold in 21 years. Does it mean? Do you think it's becoming so much more important to people to be able to put an iconic image to a piece of music they're listening to?
Yeah, I think that has continued, but I really hope it does kind of continue. Really, to be honest, I think I hope it does. When
people listen to music, I mean, they automatically, when they have a strong piece of artwork, connect with that mentally straight away. Is that always the idea when you're going for, like you said, the David Gilmour piece was him escaping, moving on? Is that what you're always looking to have, that image in someone's head that's just drilled in when they're listening to the music?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is.
And what do you make of the field that you were in? Because it's there are such a wide number of genres represented: Kendrick Lamar, Björk, Blur. Going up against people like that, is that daunting in any way? Did you look around and think, blimey?
Yeah, personally, I didn't like the Blur album cover at all. Rob's here, who designed most of the Blur album covers, and over the past 20 years, so I think it's amazing. Yeah, of course it is. But there's so many young people here tonight as well, and I really, I think there's hope for our industry.